Hello. So, second video, I think we're doing pretty good. The purpose of this video is for Ilah to see what my journey was like as a first-time mama, also for me to look back on also. And obviously the purpose of this videos are for you guys just to kind of see what my experience is and maybe learn from it or take something from it that can be useful to you. Again, I am not the best mom. I'm a learning mom trying to be a peaceful mom. So that being said, I'm not a professional. I've literally been a mom for like a month. This is just from my experience and what I've learned, again, from watching hundreds of YouTube videos, also from listening to moms that I know and taking what I like and implementing it into my parenting. So by sharing my experience, I hope it helps you guys with the journey of mom life. This will be kind of a recap of Ilah's first month and little tips and tricks, mostly tips and tricks that I have that I wish someone had told me. A lot of the things okay, hold on, pause. She's okay, as I was saying. A lot of these things you learn on the go, so by me sharing these, I hope it kind of lessens those for you so you're more prepared. So I have like 3 time frames that I want to talk about. Days 1 and 3 were time spent in the hospital. 4 till 14 were about times at home, and then from 14 to present. As far as days 1 and 3, those were the time spent at the hospital. I did spend 3 full days only because I had a C-section and I had to stay a little bit longer just for me to heal. When you're at the hospital, you are learning all things baby. So how to hold your baby for the first time, how to feed, how to change the diaper. All the nurses are very hands-on, so take advantage and ask any questions that you have or any skills you might want to practice on. Get it all done and asked there. They are there to help you. Another thing the hospital does is they give so much information, your brain is going to be overloaded. So I just decided to do all the reading that they had given me there, only because I knew that I wasn't going to have time to do it when I got home with a newborn. So that was really helpful. Also using your phone as a tool. So using my phone and taking pictures of the little charts that they had. For example, they had a chart with how long you can leave milk out and stuff like that. If you don't already know that information, just having not to go back to the pamphlet and just having it nearby, or you can reference to that page just by going to your phone. Overall, the time spent at the hospital, you do a lot of bonding with your newborn and you just get to soak up this brand new little sunshine that you have. So Skin to Skin, you will hear over and over again, has a lot of pros, so we got to do a lot of that with Ilah. She did spend a lot of the time just in a diaper, and just because it was really hot in the room that we were in, and I saw nothing wrong with that. Tip, do not overheat your baby. They say that whatever you're wearing, if you're wearing 1 layer or 2, that's how much your baby should be wearing as well. Okay, so being calm and having patience with your spouse or your family member or friend, whoever's there as your support system, is really good, because things get tense real fast when you are not used to a crying baby. And me and Ilyas, thank God, we held our cool. We were like nicer to each other, even though we were sleep deprived and had so much going on. But I feel like as new parents, you're so happy anyways that you don't want to put anything negative into the vibe in the room or anything like that. But being extra patient and just knowing that you got this and everything is new and everything is going to take time is just going to be a lot more helpful for you and the people around you. At the hospital, we were able to have a lot of visitors come and spoil us with gifts, food, and all of that, so we are all very thankful for that. I do suggest though that if you are going to be breastfeeding, maybe don't do what I did and breastfeed out in the open to every single person. Like, I did let them know, like, hey, I'm gonna be breastfeeding, if you want to leave. The only thing I might have done differently was just to let people know, and what really triggered me was to let people know not to give me advice and discourage me right away with the do this, do that, this is how I did it, this is how my baby fed, because the first couple days of breastfeeding is stressful enough. I felt so defeated not being able to feed my baby right away, and that's a common thing I hear. So just letting people know, let me learn, I can do it, just give me time, would be really great. But I didn't mind having people there. That was just me. I was on a lot of drugs just because of the surgery, so having breakdowns and stuff like that, which I had 2 in the span of 20 minutes one day, and like that's all, I was over it. But having meltdowns and stuff like that, and just being filled with a lot of emotion is normal. I feel like I was so happy, that's why like at some points I was so happy I was crying. And then at other points I was so happy that I actually started having anxiety. So postpartum anxiety is a real thing. I went through it. I had to get those feelings validated by opening up to Ilyas. Side note, please open up to somebody, otherwise those feelings are just gonna linger and it's not good for you, it's not good for your baby. But again, I did open up, I did mention how I was feeling. He let me know that it was okay, that it was normal, that this is how I was supposed to be feeling. I also opened up to the nurses, and one of the nurses actually told me that, hey, you know what, this is really normal, because for the first time in your life as a first-time mom, you have not been given this much responsibility in your life. You are actually responsible for another human being, which is like huge. So having this anxiety is totally normal. For the first 5 days, it was really affecting my sleep. I probably slept like 2 hours a night for the first 5 days, only because I was like, worst case scenario, what if this happens? Constantly checking her breathing and all of that. It's normal. Just make sure that you're able to process those feelings by opening up to someone and getting help. So let's move on to the second time frame that I'd want to talk about, which is day 4 through 14. This was the time that we were obviously home. She met the dogs for the first time. Tips when meeting the dogs: I had the blanket from the hospital come home with a family member so that the dogs were able to sniff her out before she got there. Before Ilah went into the house, the dogs went out for a dog walk just so that extra energy was kind of released from them and that they were a little bit more calm. And then we kind of snuck her into the house and then slowly and safely introduced them. These days were the most days that me and Ilyas were sleep deprived. Thank God that he was off for the first 7 days, and I really do suggest that your spouse or partner, or again family member, just your support system, you have somebody there. You're not alone right away if it's possible. More so if you have a C-section, just because the doctor gives you a lot of limitations, like limit bending down, limit going up and down the stairs, don't carry anything more than your baby, this and that. And so just having somebody there helping you 24/7 for the first couple days is necessary. Like, I mean necessary. My husband helped me with everything, and I love him for that. I love him even more for that. So yeah, we were very sleep deprived. We were trying to get the hang of things, but also Ilah was trying to get the hang of life outside the womb. So this was all new to us. This was all new to her. But again, staying calm and staying focused that you can do it is just the mindset you need to have. This was also the time the community nurse came in. We had a doctor's appointment at 10 days, and we also had an appointment with the lactation consultant because I was having trouble with breastfeeding without the guard. The guard is just this plastic nipple guard that goes on top of your nipple just so that the baby can latch better. Hold on. I do suggest you seeing a lactation consultant if you're breastfeeding and having trouble, just because they have so much to teach you, and it was really beneficial to me. So it might be beneficial to you. But again, one thing I want to say is don't stress on every little thing the doctor or lactation consultant tells you. Go with your mommy instincts. For example, Ilah, because she was born at a greater weight, she was on the 95th percentile, her growth chart is a little bit like, it looks like a check mark. So instead of it kind of growing up like a hill, it goes down first and then goes up. A few reasons for this is because of the fluid that was in her system. Because of the C-section, she was not able to kind of secrete that fluid coming out. She was just pulled out. Yeah, so that being said, I was stressing more on the weight. Why was she losing weight? Why was she like this? And again, that stress was not good for me. It was not good for my baby. So don't stress on everything. Every baby is different. As long as your doctor knows what you're going through and you're doing everything you can, everything should be fine. So don't obsess over averages and charts and stuff like that. Just don't do that, because it's not good. A tip, and a huge tip, was do not read instructions too far in advance before your baby comes for things. For example, a breast pump. My husband and I were like in panic with a screaming baby because we forgot how to use the breast pump exactly. I know it's easy now, but at the time we were just so jumbled in our heads. And yeah, so read manuals like a week or two before, just so that you can remember. That's my... Also, when we got home, we were able to kind of notice the things that we were missing. For example, for me, that was the breast friend that we had purchased. It looks like this. Let me grab it. And it's just like this foam, hard, non-deflating, like a pillow, which is why I had purchased it, because I was having trouble with using a pillow. But this was really helpful with kind of just positioning her and having her lay there on the breast friend, and for me to breastfeed her was really nice. So these are one of the things that we had purchased. Amazon Prime is very, very helpful. We were able to do those, buy things off there and get it the next day. A sleeping bra was something that we also had purchased from Toys R Us. It was like $20 or something like that, because the bra that I had for nursing was not comfortable to sleep in, and because your boobs are so engorged and like hard and red, you just want something easy and nice and comfortable and like as loose as possible for a bra. So those things. I had the worst numbness in my hands and feet because I had a lot of fluid retention. I had a lot of swelling going on. So having those feet elevated while you're sleeping was a really big help. Drinking lots of water helped me a lot to kind of get rid of the water. Drink lots of water regardless. As a person, as a human, drink lots of water. As a mom breastfeeding, drink lots of water. Just stay like hydrated. Actually, I'm like a little parched right now. Hold on. For me, because I had a C-section and because I had Ilah there, he was able to support me in ways that I didn't think I needed support. Just know that it really does take a village to raise a child, but also being a first-time mom, just take advantage of the help that you are surrounded by, just so that you are not burnt out. A huge shout out to my husband and to my support system, from everyone who helped out to everyone who just shot a text out to me and checked up on me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Support is one thing a new mama cannot get enough of, and I could not say that enough. So let's move on to the third phase. So days 14 to present, 2 weeks, she had started a little bit of vomiting and like a lot more of spitting up. We kind of controlled it by just having her head elevated when we're feeding her, letting gravity take its course, keeping her upright for about 15 to 30 minutes after feedings. And also the biggest thing is burping. Do not forget to burp during and after feeds, just so that your baby's not uncomfortable and is gassy. That was a big thing. So always burp. You will get the hang of burping. For the first couple days, like Ilah did not want to do a position where he kind of supported the front of her face and kind of tapped her back, but now he's a pro at it. All right, I'm coming, baby, I'm coming. You want to make a debut? You want to make a debut? Okay, it's like 10 p.m. so she's asleep. So at this point, hopefully you get the hang of, you're starting to get the hang of things. Ilah and I are now pros at diapers, just because, again, practice makes perfect. We were able to leave the house as a family for the first time, so that was really nice. Just making sure that you're ready and not kind of going by what other people say. You are the parent. However you feel and however you choose to raise your child is like up to you, as long as it's like healthy and safe, of course. But don't like feel like you need to go by the book. There is no book. If somebody says, oh, you can't leave the house until like this and this, or don't burp your baby that way, or breastfeed this way, or don't eat that, that's bad for you when you're breastfeeding. As long as the doctor says it's okay and you're, you know, cautious and for the well-being of you and your baby, then it should be fine. Of course, we were like just like going out for the first time, I'm like, nobody touch her, nobody look at her, please. But again, just do you, and listen to your instincts, because they're usually right. Oh, so with going out of the house, actually like right above me over there on a blue little piece of Post-it right beside the light switch, I have a list of things that go in the diaper bag that should always be there. So for example, on the list, the first thing is diapers, wipes, changing pad, bib, burp cloth, stuff like that, just so Ilias and I can always make sure that the diaper bag is stocked, and that when we leave the house it's ready to go, and we're not forgetting anything. So that's a tip that I do. One thing before I talk about Ilah and her milestones is try to shower when you can. I shower as frequently as I can, even if it's like a 1-minute body shower. Try to do that. It makes me feel good, it makes me feel fresh, it makes me feel like I can take care of her better, just when I'm refreshed like that, just because I feel good on the outside, meaning I feel good on the inside. That's just me. But just having to not be gross and like messy and feeling like blah is just a really big help. So a little bit about Ilah. For her first month, she loves sleeping like me and her daddy. So a lot of the time I'll like see if she wants to like sleep in. Sometimes we'll go upstairs and have breakfast and then come back down and sleep some more. She gazes and smiles at you when you talk to her. She loves when people talk to her. Unless she has like tummy troubles, then she kind of gives you a face like, don't talk to me. She sleeps in her bassinet. She loves the Moana soundtrack and anything R&B. I actually put music that we would both like, only because I don't want to just stick with like the common nursery rhymes, because I'm sure those I'll get a lot of when she gets older and has like control of like the music in the house and the TV in the house and stuff like that. She loves her daddy a lot. They do a lot of tummy time together. She poops really well, which is a really nice thing, I guess. Yeah, we love her so much. We could not be more blessed, honestly. Thank you, God. So I think those are all of the little tips that I had for the first month. I mean, they weren't a lot, but if there was one thing that I had mentioned that you hadn't already even thought of, then that's great. That's cool. That's what I'm trying to do here. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a good night, right?